Hello. Welcome vlog channel. It's been a hot minute. I'm so sorry about how long I have a vlog coming. It is going to be a sketchbook tour that is coming. And I was working on it yesterday, but I got so fucking frustrated with audio ducking stuff, and it was taking forever because the app changed. Long story short, I'm working on a vlog. It's coming out this week. I swear to fucking God, it's coming out this week. But we're gonna try something. I have been watching an absurd amount of Isma to Gwendolyn and have felt compelled. As well as this specific day has brought about some of this. So this is going to be chaotic. I'm going to be reading like what has been written, because I wasn't originally going to like do a stream or a vlog or whatever about this, but then I was like, we have the vlog channel, we can do it. This could also end up being like a 10-minute goddamn stream. I don't know. We are going to do this as a team. Are we going to take our customary 5 minutes of audio checks? Probably. Let me give me but a moment to... Also, don't judge the state of my thumbnail because I was not planning on actually doing a thumbnail, but then it refused to let me start streaming with that one. So, unless I just kept my old one from the last stream, which I didn't want to do. But anyway, let's start. On this day, so the reason why I was prompted and compelled and everything to do right here, right now. On this day in 2017, I finished writing the very first draft of The Queen of Thieves: A New Throne. I get a notification. It's in my calendar. I get a notification of it every year. And one of the main things I really remember about that time is how incredibly lonely I had been on that day, because I was so excited about having done it. Earlier that summer, I had not started writing this book until that summer, because I had not really had a clear idea, vision, anything solid about the series until that summer. And then all of a sudden everything started to materialize in a very tangible way, and everything started to make sense. And so I actually started to write, and I wanted to finish writing the book before I started school for the semester, and I did that. And ultimately I ended up writing it in about a month or two total, and I was so proud of myself. But I had no one to tell. I had no family, I had no friends, and so that moment ended up being taken over by a lot of loneliness. Years later, here, hello, still fairly lonely. I have people in my life at this point to varying degrees, but trauma, very anxious about sharing things with people and talking to people, and like having hopes and expectations about how people will engage with me about things, especially because most of the people in my life are also not readers or people like that. And so there's then another level of how much would they even be able to engage because they don't read, stuff like that. So getting that kind of like community cheerleading squad to like cheer me on when I'm still not really in a place where I have that kind of thing, but I do have spaces now, which is something interesting to look on. I have spaces now. I have spaces like my website and Patreon, and I guess here, where I can just feel comfortable expressing things and expressing them especially without the like messy hubbub that comes with expectations. And it's also interesting to think about it in terms of like expressing things on these sites, not necessarily for my, like, for me to get views or encouragement or yada yada yada, but like expressing in the same way and with the same goals, intentions, and ideas of with which I go into publishing with, is more of a off my chest. I say it out loud. Maybe it reaches a person or two. Maybe it helps a person or two. But it's been said. It's been said. I did my piece and I put it into the world, like that kind of thing. I've been doing that a lot. I've been especially doing it a lot with like more political things, and with the work itself, I want to try and get into the habit of doing that more and expressing more and talking more as if about myself, as if I am a human being going through processes and going through ups and downs, trials and tribulations whilst doing all of this as well. And I think that is something I'm very interested in, kind of trying to get into the habit of, just something to reground myself in the fact that I am not a machine pumping out work. I am a human being. That's what the vlog channel was, and it was it had always been very refreshing and very helpful to do the vlog channel. But oh my god, I've just been so exhausted and tired. I've been especially exhausted and tired and going through it for a couple of years. It's been a rough couple of years, but I am a decently better place now. Would love to try and get back into vlogs. I'm gonna be so fucking real. We're going through the backlog. We're just posting shit from the backlog. These vlogs are gonna be 2 years behind and we're just gonna be happy about it. Okay. Today, again, it's not gonna be a super long time, but I just want to go and talk about some like updates, some writing wins, some of the trials and tribulations and work that I've been putting in, because I've also, similar to how I was describing just the feeling of like why I publish and just having that, just putting it out there, throwing something out there, especially was a strong feeling as someone struggling with mental health, surrounded by media regarding mental health and talking about mental health as if it was like a quick fix and attempt suicide and you just get it out of your system shit. I've been very interested since I read Everything for Everyone, which I will be doing a stream on this week, probably tomorrow. I was supposed to do it today, but here we are. I've been very interested in oral histories, personal histories, and just writing about what the world is like from a space outside of the central powers, and so that's also part, like a lot of that is going to be in my works, in my arts, in my main channel. But like, again, me as a human being want to be able to acknowledge and express it for me as a human being within the context of me as a human being, and so we're gonna take a second to talk about things. We're gonna talk about just some things. I'm just gonna ramble and just be here for a second, because even though like I've had this notification on my phone for however fucking many years, so goddamn long, oh my lord, and now here today I feel compelled to get on my spaces on the internet and scream about things I'm proud of, talk talk about how cool I think I am. And that's what we're gonna do. First and foremost is my hair. This is not a great position to see it. You can't really see it, but oh my god, if you were here from the beginning, if you've been here, if you look at my hair in like early vlogs or early YouTube videos, she was struggling. So if we can get some W's in the chat for my hair specifically, it's not a writing thing, but it's important. It's ties to everything else. W's in the chat for my fucking hair. It's the world. Everything's changed. Also, if cutting the bangs, I love them. I've loved nothing as much as I love my fucking bangs. In terms of writing, I The Queen of Thieves and Throne was the third book I'd written way back when. When I published it, I had written 10 books in that series. Here today, I have written about 26 works, and I've published 9, which is absurd. If you're wondering, I feel bad because I feel like I say this every goddamn time I talk about publishing books and writing books. But if you are wondering why there is such a large gap between how many books I've written, how many books I've published, I just prefer having written a decent number of books in a series before I start publishing them. It helps me with continuity, it helps me with storyline and story arc, and just feel comfortable in the direction that I'm going. And so that is including The Queen of Thieves. Those are books including The Queen of Thieves, the other perspective series, the prequel series, all of that. That is including some standalones like Imani and Aaliyah, my short story When We Jump, which I've published 2 books this year. I keep getting into this point where I'm like, oh my god, I'm not doing anything. I feel like I haven't done anything this year. I've published 2 books this year. Probably should have spaced them out more so that way my brain could feel a lot less behind, but I've published 2 books this year. I need to chill the fuck out. But those numbers also include my dodgeball satire romance, which is it's way better than it has any right to be. It really is. I love it. I cannot wait to share it. I cannot wait for the disability community to get their hands on it. I'm so excited. It's great. It's great. This also includes my fantasy series that I am working on. I am currently writing the 5th book of my fantasy series, and I want to finish book 6. It's going to be one of those classic iconic structures of there's multiple series. There's 3 series. The first series has 6 books. The other 2 planning on just having 5 each, but I was supposed to have 5 in all 3 of them. Pacing didn't work out that way, so we'll see. We will see. But yeah, I've gotten to book 5. Want to write all 6 of the first series before I go back and start editing book 1. And truly, if we're being honest, I genuinely think by the time that I finish publishing book 6, I should just have all of them finished and written. There's also going to be a side series that I'm so excited for, and it's great because the first book is going to be so fucking political. It's going to be so goddamn political. It's going to be super intense, and it's going to be great. It's going to be very much it's going to be a good representation of what that series is going to be, as well as just myself and my writing. Other things that I'm excited for with regards to writing, some things that I haven't really finished or gotten to them yet, or things I'm working on doing. First and foremost, I have a little short that I am working on. I'll say it. My goal is to have it out by November. That's the goal. I'm gonna try and hold myself to it. It's gonna be rough trying to hold myself to it, but we're gonna try. That's coming out in November. It is about Hawaii, and I also, in relation to that, want to work on making land acknowledgements that I can have like sitting everywhere on all these platforms that have my books. I can also have land acknowledgements sitting there. That I don't have a timeline on because they require research, and I, again, no timeline on. I'm probably going to get I'm going to probably get into a cycle of getting extremely overwhelmed with what I want to do, what I feel like I need to do, what obligations I feel like I have with those, get overwhelmed, burn out, freak out, and it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. But I would love to also craft and put together some land acknowledgements. And then I also want to work on utopic writing, which writing set in a future, like it's the idea of like you need creatives to make a better future seem real, seem tangible, give people something to actually work towards instead of just having this indescript better that we're working on. Give like an actual idea. I want to work on that. I want to work on those types of things. I've been deeply inspired by Everything for Everyone. I was also loved Inara. I read that this year. We're also working on putting out the quarterly wrap up. It's gonna be for quarter 1 and 2. We'll get there. But that is also something that I really want to work on, is utopic writing. I am going to be doing a liberatory writing workshop tomorrow with one of the authors of Everything for Everyone, which I'm very excited for. I've been working on different projects for that. Some of them are like not standard things, but I don't publish standardly, which is another thing that's like grown and changed with myself. I don't mandate purchasing for my books and my works anymore, which has been so much more aligned with what I believe and feel, and with what I think is needed for the future, and the future that I would like for people to be going towards. As an anti-capitalist, does that make my life harder? Yes. I'm like, I still live in a world that needs and demands money out of me, and I work at a job that is slowly killing, not even slowly, it is killing me, but it does just feel infinitely better to just like live by what I hope for us to get to. And I truly feel like any amount of time I spend marketing my books is absolutely wasted when I could be talking about politics. Like, very truly, I feel like if the amount of time I wasted on fucking Instagram posts and shit, I am just nauseated. It was an absolute waste of time. It was far more energy than it deserved, and I hated it. I really hated it. It was not great. It drained so much out of me. It destroyed my mental health. And quite literally talking about politics and studying politics and like studying liberation, studying like actual things to work on a tangibly better world presently and within my community to build foundation for a future is so much better for my mental health than trying to hop on fucking Instagram and TikTok trends. I cannot stress this fucking enough. It's exhausting. What else? I feel like there was something else I was going to say along that topic. But yeah, okay, sure. We'll move on. We'll move on from my writing and publishing style, I guess. After that, as after alongside whatnot, moving on from topic of utopic writing, it comes back more into the idea of oral histories, personal histories. I want to work on a project with regards to COVID. I want to work on a project talking about being in going from like 2020 to 2025 and still acknowledging the realities of COVID in a world, or in a part of the world, that is completely dependent on its denialism. I want to talk about the loneliness, the isolation, the ostracism. I mean, I don't have to pronounce the word if it's in the book. Being pushed out of society because I saw a book. I saw an article. I forgot the name of the author, but they essentially said to paraphrase, like, not fighting for disabled people's right to be in society is the equivalent, especially with the way it's been done in the United States, is actively fighting for COVID's unmitigated right to be in every space of our lives. And that, like, writing and expressing those types of things, wanting to talk about, yes, there's like the government level of misinformation, but also the personal level of people ignoring information to maintain whatever social norms they think are so godly important that covering your mouth isn't a problem. People who talk about how, oh, I could never wear a mask because if I didn't have this, that, or the other, it would be the end of my life, but then forcing disabled people away from being able to safely access this, that, or the other, because like the person's stats were like, I just read the article, but the article was from like 2022. This, and like the stats were like 1 in 33 people has COVID, and it's like, yeah, that's a 1 in 33 chance of like getting a disease that could kill you, especially if you are disabled. Talking about how fucking they knew the entire goddamn time that if you brought up how it was impacting people, marginalized folks more, that would immediately lose white support for mitigations. And that's exactly what fucking happened. And then because you have all of these white people determining and deciding that partying and having a good life must mean doing less than nothing with regards to COVID, and saying fuck you to the people who care about harming each other, care about harm to themselves, then you of course had a lot of people in those marginalized groups still defining those, allowing that to continue to define. I want to scream about the realities of COVID so fucking bad. So fucking bad. Like I've said as well, like in all of my books, Queen of Thieves 5 was the last book that I plan on publishing in which characters are not going to be actively masking, actively acknowledging COVID, because I have, like, y'all use writing to escape. I have to escape into a world where people give a fuck about each other. And so, but I also just want to, again, talk about, scream about, express all of this from the space of myself as a human being enduring it, not just talking about, like, and putting it into the perspective and fitting it around a different plot. So that is something I'm very excited for. That is something I want to do very consistently. That is something I want to do a lot around. Again, also probably gonna over push myself. It's fine. We'll figure it out. I've got the endurance for the whole, like, progress isn't linear pit of despair before the optimism of before informed optimism. I can do that. I can deal with that. It's just exhausting. But I'll be fine. But that is essentially everything that I want to talk about. I am going to cut this off fairly abruptly because now I need to type this all up and put it in a blog post. But that is all. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me, and until next time, valuations, friends.